Welcome everyone. We just want to take a few minutes here and show you a tool that you have at your disposal, no matter what grade you teach, for math intervention, especially since we don't have IXL this year moving forward. So I want you to take a second and picture this. It's a Tuesday afternoon during your core math block, and you've just finished teaching a solid math lesson on locating and labeling fractions on a number line. However, as you start to circulate during independent practice, you notice about half of your students are completely crushing the assignment. Some are locating and labeling incorrectly, and 3 students appear to be completely confused. Does this sound familiar? It's something that we've all experienced. When students struggle, especially when the same students struggle day after day, the instinct can be to pull them aside for a completely separate intervention, a totally different curriculum, digital tool, fact practice, or prerequisite skill sheets. But research and classroom reality tell us something different. When intervention is disconnected from core instruction, students struggle to transfer back to core when they come back from intervention. Today, we're sharing a new planning tool developed by GFPS teachers, coaches, and administrators, specifically to help solve these challenges. It's designed utilizing the elements that already exist in Amplify Desmos. Over the next few minutes, we'll walk through how this tool helps you plan targeted, responsive math intervention that connects right to your core instruction, hopefully saving you planning time and helping accelerate students' growth. So why do we need a dedicated tool for this? According to recent educational research in math, effective intervention requires 3 things: immediacy, precise diagnostic alignment, and cognitive continuity. When intervention is disconnected from core instruction, students face a heavy cognitive load. They have to learn a concept during core and then translate to a totally different routine and set of skills during intervention time. This planning tool will help bridge the gap by ensuring your small group intervention uses the exact same conceptual models, representations, and vocabulary students see during whole group instruction. The tool itself has 3 parts: a calendar, scheduling ideas, and grouping strategies that you could use with your students. As you can see on the screen, we'll go through all of these different parts. However, this is the exact same format every grade and every unit will have for ease of use. The calendar is going to be structured by grade, unit, and lesson. The calendars we have built for every grade and every unit, and they live in that elementary curriculum drive, which I will show you at the end of this if you don't remember where it's at. At the top of the calendar, you will see the ADM fluency practice with guidance. This is a hyperlinked video that will be above in every single one of these that you'll see. And what this link is going to do is it will link you to a video that explains the design and use of the ADM fluency component and what a confetti session is. Building fluency should be a daily goal of intervention and is accomplished primarily in the fluency practice and the centers. So let's take a deeper dive into each lesson when we look here. So linked under each lesson is a variety of resources that teachers can use based upon how their students performed on the Show What You Know exit ticket or any formative assessment you did throughout that lesson. MLs, you will notice that they are quite frequent. Those stand for Amplify Mini Lessons, and those are something that will occur under every lesson 99% of the time. PLs are Amplify's Personalized Lessons or Boosts. You'll notice that these are a little bit more sporadic, but will pop up in lessons here and there. The EXTs stand for Extensions. And the centers that you'll see up here, again, very frequent, represent exactly what you have in your ADM center kits, and these will just be the link to that day's lesson center. However, there is one caveat when you guys are using this document. When you are going to click into any of these links, you have to be logged into Amplify or else the links will not work. So if you're having an issue, just make sure that you're logged into Amplify. And that should hopefully help troubleshoot any issue that you have getting those links to access. So let's take a quick practical walkthrough on how this tool could work. So let's go back to the beginning If you were a fourth grade teacher looking at the show what you know exit tickets from that lesson 2 on your unit fraction day, you've sorted them into 3 piles. Got it pile, sorta got it pile, and don't get it yet pile. I've noticed that students struggle to place fractions like 3/4 on the number line. Instead of thinking they don't get fractions, I look closer to see where the misconception might be and notice that multiple students counted the hash marks instead of the spaces or intervals. So essentially, they're treating the number line like a ruler. This observation prompts me to think, how does this skill connect to tomorrow's lesson? Tomorrow's core lesson involves comparing fractions with same denominators using number lines. If some of my students don't understand interval counting today, they won't be successful in accessing tomorrow's lesson. So my intervention goal becomes helping students accurately partition a number line into equal intervals to represent unit fractions. Notice how this isn't a separate topic. It's the foundational building block for tomorrow's core objective. The students who have demonstrated that they've already met or are close to meeting the objective can work on the center fraction match advanced fraction models stage 2. You'll notice underneath lesson 2 that you had taught, there's this advanced fraction practice that students who have already met that objective can work to build their fluency. However, the ones who have not yet met the objective can do the mini lesson with me, the teacher, in a small group setting at the back of the room or wherever your small group may meet. By organizing our intervention time using this tool, we ensure that the time that we have is used as purposeful and responsive as possible to help all students grow wherever they may be at with specific topics. It sounds simple, but one of the greatest challenges beyond the planning is managing the small groups. Each unit's calendar has an added section called Tips for Managing Small Groups. Here are a few key tips. 1, wait to start groups until you have taught your routines and expectations. 2, make sure students know where to go, how to transition, and what to bring. And 3, address issues immediately. Too noisy? Stop. Revisit expectations and practice again. As we wrap up, let's talk about next steps. We know time is precious. This tool exists to help with planning. However, the delivery is all you. This is where your unique insight, content knowledge, teaching strategies, and connections with students come in. No one knows your students as well as you, so it is up to you how this could potentially look in your classroom. So as this year gets rolling, we'll take a few minutes to explore this tool, or we encourage you to take a few minutes to explore this tool. If you are unsure where our curriculum documents are, I will show you from the GFPS home site how to get there. So if you go to your gfps.k12.mt.us and click on the department button, it'll take us to a very long list of things that we can access, but we specifically want to be in curriculum and assessment. Once we get to curriculum and assessment, over here on the left-hand side is going to give us something more specific, where we're looking for elementary curriculum. And from there, here's where you're going to see all the grades. So not only do you have access to your grade levels, but you could technically see everybody K6 there. To stick with our 4th grade example, I'm going to click there. We're specifically looking at mathematics. And under that mathematics section, there's going to be other curriculum documents that we're looking for, as well as EFA lessons, but specifically we're here in curriculum documents. And you're looking for that beyond differentiation lesson calendars. So as mentioned, 4th grade has one of these for every single unit that they teach. We were just looking at 4th grade unit 2, but if we were to look at unit 5, for example, it's going to have the exact same format, again, for ease of use, to make it quick and easy for planning, that you can quickly grab things that fit or you may need for intervention for those lessons. As this year gets rolling, just take a few minutes to explore. Instructional coaches will be sending out information for some optional small group and after school sessions for collaborating and co-planning things with this, as well as some extra challenges and things that students might need beyond what is provided here. They will also be making intentional additions to this tool specifically, especially in areas of extensions. We know that some students need to be challenged and might need to be pushed farther than what's available. So that is something that will be worked on this year. We want to take this opportunity to thank you for your dedication to making math accessible and meaningful for every elementary learner. We hope you all have a wonderful year. And if you have any questions, we highly encourage you to reach out. We are more than happy to support.